Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. The Husker football team continued fall camp earlier today. After practice, defensive coordinator Tony White spoke to the media about a variety of different topics, including what it's like to try and defend quarterback Jeff Sims.
Sims is a different player. He's a totally different player, and that goes top down. Body-wise, athletic. He was always gifted athletically. I remember playing him when I was at my old school, and you can see the talent there. He is just I think he's on a different level with Coach Rule and Coach Satt with him, Adam Michael. Those guys being there, Corey, Dr. Haskell, working he's fun to watch, especially seeing him back then and seeing him now. I think when you're a quarterback, you're all-encompassing, right? You see him and you say, he can run and do all that stuff. I think his reads, I think his confidence in the pocket, I think his maturity, I think his strength, his arm. You name it. The guy has really put in the work to be a leader in this system at Nebraska. So it's on defending him on the other side. He's making me a better coach for sure.
More from Coach White later on in the show. A big day for Nebraska volleyball tomorrow, as they will host their own fan day from 10 to 12 at the Devaney Concourse. Husker players and coaches will sign autographs for 2 hours before turning their attention to the scrimmage later that night. First serve is set for 6 p.m. You can join John Baylor and Lauren Cook West right here on the Huskers Radio Network for pregame coverage beginning at 5 p.m. And finally, some Major League Baseball scores. A couple of games final from earlier in the day. The Royals defeated the Cubs 4-3, and the Tigers defeated the Guardians in Game 1 of a doubleheader 4-2. Currently, the Blue Jays and Reds are scoreless in the second, and in just a couple minutes, the Nationals host the Phillies and the Yankees host the Red Sox. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now, get ready for a full 2 hours of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Turn, give it off to Grant. He picks his way inside the 45, bounces to the outside. 40, 35, 30, foot race now. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska. Snap back to Van Treese. Play actions. Gets hit as he throws. Pass headed down the end zone. Buford goes up and makes the interception at the 1-yard line. Marquise Buford's second pick of the game, and it was created by some pressure on the quarterback, Van Treese.
Red, fed left. Lindsay gets it through. They stay with it. And Krause muscles it through a double Buckeye block. Becca Williams, Spring Lake, Texas serves back right. Nice pass, quick attack. Becca, Alec, Big Red, kaboom!
Here is your host, Greg Sharpe, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to our Friday show. Some have dubbed it a party show. I don't know that I would go that far, but we're here. Jessica has a well-deserved day off, so you're stuck with me for the next couple of hours. Some of you may be off and running to a high school football game. Week 0 around the state of Nebraska. Not everybody plays. That's why they call it Week 0, but you do have a handful of games that are taking place around the state. And Husker fans might have their eyes kind of fixed at that Creighton Prep Bell West game up tonight in Omaha. You get the Daniel Kalin, the quarterback commit, plays for Bell West. Creighton Prep's a good team as well. Those are 2 teams ranked in the top 15, I think, for Class A in the state of Nebraska. So, hey, good luck to all the youngsters. Be healthy. I hope you have a great time out there tonight. Love high school football. Love the feel of, hear the sounds of the high school bands getting going and the cheerleaders and dance squads, and what a fun time. So everybody be safe. Have a good time out there tonight. Maybe a little tailgating going on if you're one of the games tonight. Maybe you have us on for a few minutes. We're glad you're doing that. But get out there and enjoy yourself and watch some high school football tonight. Everybody get cranked up next week, but there are a handful of games around the state going on tonight. We are a week away from Week 0 for college football. That's going to get going. And next week, you've got that game in Dublin. Remember, last year, we were about ready to go to Dublin for that game. You've got Notre Dame and Navy playing over in Ireland this year. I think next year the matchup is Florida State and Boston College. So that Aviva Stadium in Dublin is going to keep bringing college football over there. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't mind going back. Everything about that thing was pretty good except the way the game turned out. If that had been a Husker win, I think, man, everybody would have just been delighted. But I think people had a really nice time over there. And so a week from tomorrow, we'll be having some college football going. A week from tonight, you've got high school football going on in some places around the state tonight. All right, here's what we have on the program. Well, Tony White met with the media today. We will hear some clips from his press conference coming up here in just a few minutes. The Huskers will have a big scrimmage tomorrow. It'll be their second and final scrimmage of the fall camp tomorrow. So Tony White, whose squad, by all accounts, did a nice job in the first scrimmage. We'll hear what he had to say about that and kind of some thoughts that he has about his defense as we're now, inside of 2 weeks for the opening game against Minnesota. So Coach White's comments coming up here in just a couple of minutes. One of his defenders is Quentin Newsom, and Q is arguably maybe Nebraska's most draftable guy coming out this next year. And Jessica had a chance to catch up with Q earlier in the week. We'll play that back for you in the second hour of the program. Also in hour number 2, Matt Coatney is going to be by for a little chat. Matt's going to be a part of our pregame, halftime, postgame coverage again this fall on the network. You'll be getting score updates throughout the day from him, and then he hosts Big Red Reaction at the end of the day. A lot of you love to listen to that on your way back to wherever you have ventured to Lincoln from or after road games. You pop it on and listen to that well into the night for the Minnesota game, and we made some tweaks to the Big Red Reaction lineup that we mentioned last night when Josh Banderas was with us, that we're going to have kind of rotating co-hosts with Matt. It'll be Josh Banderas, Tommy Armstrong, and Zach Potter are going to be rotating through, and so those guys will each get a couple games, and so maybe some different perspectives on a weekly basis from those three gentlemen. Josh will be our leadoff batter. He will be with Coat in the Minnesota broadcast on August 31st. Actually, they will take us into September 1st, right? I mean, they're going to be on past midnight, so they're going to be on the air until September the 1st. So that's a kind of cool deal. But Coat, always fun to catch up with him. He'll be with us in the second hour of the program as well. Well, 30 minutes or so after we wrapped up our show last night, the Husker football office tweeted out some more single-digit numbers, 3 of them, all defensive players. Love your thoughts on the guys that got them, and they were, if you've got thoughts, by the way, 402-413-2400. Call or text. Both are open for you right now. Nash Hutmacher is going to wear 0 for the Huskers, and that's a little unusual to see a big defensive lineman wear a single digit. It's been done before. In fact, Purdue had a kid, might have been the O'Neill kid, that wore 0 a year or so ago for the Boilermakers. So Nash, the polar bear, is going to wear 0 for the Cornhuskers. And we've heard this staff say a lot of good things about Nash since they took over in December. They love his work ethic. They love the character that he has, and obviously that has transcended itself to the team because, remember, these are not selected by the coaches. This is a vote of their peers. This is votes put in by guys on the football team. And it can dramatically change because you may have voted for certain guys in the first go-around, and they handed out those to the Billy Kemps and the Jeff Sims, the Luke Reimers, Ethan Pipers. But now your vote may completely change. And so guys that may have been close the last time don't necessarily get it on the second ballot. But I would think Nash probably would have been close the first time around, but he's certainly going to be a big part of this defensive front. He's played behind Ty Robinson the most of anybody at this level of football, and it's kind of his time. It's kind of his time to shine moving forward. So Nash picks up a single-digit number. Nick Henrich, who did not participate, remember, in spring because of the injury that he was coming off of, the knee injury that he is still to this day wearing a brace on that knee. But I'm not surprised. The coaches, again, have just marveled at how much the younger players in the linebacking room gravitate toward Nick. And I don't think they knew what to expect from Nick because they didn't see him on the practice field day after day in the spring, so they weren't quite sure what they were going to see from him, but they've been delighted by his progress. He is feeling more confident every passing day with what that knee can do. And that's a big part of it, as Josh mentioned last night with us. That the mental thing is the last thing to come. Physically, you're probably fine, but in the back of your mind, you're going, am I healed? If I make this hard cut, if I make this plant and go, is my knee going to hold up? And so it takes a while, and it may take a couple of games for Nick to kind of fully feel like he's got this thing under control. But his teammates think enough of him that they voted him in to get a single-digit number. He's going to wear the number 3. And then the other one goes to John Bullock. Again, a walk-on. We heard from his brother Alex, who's made a big impression in the wide receiver room for this Husker football team. We talked. In fact, we had an interview last night with Jessica from Alex. Well, this is his brother John. He has been awarded a single digit, and he is certainly in the mix, thick into the mix, in the linebacking spot for this football team. He's in there with Nick Henrich and Luke Reimer. Probably M.J. Sherman would be in that batch as well. So John Bullock, another Creighton Prep product. Mentioned they played Bell West tonight. So you got both Bullocks are really doing some good things for this football team. And so those are the 3, all 3 that were handed out last night, defensive players. There's only a couple left. And, you know, we've not had Quentin Newsom in there yet. He wore number 6 a year ago. Does he get one of the last ones? Maybe. Nobody's picked 6. So maybe they're kind of holding that back for Q. But just a few days left to get those all handed out. So I would think sometime early to mid next week we'll get the last batch of single-digit numbers handed out. But those 3 came out about 8:30 last night is when they popped that for everybody to see. And, again, I think all well-deserving, maybe a little bit surprised that you see John Bullock. But, again, we've heard so many positive things, not only from the coaches about him, but from some other players who just say he has been a terrific addition to this football team and making plays. And forget the fact that he's a walk-on, that he's doing a lot of really good things. Remember, Luke Reimer started as a walk-on in this program as well and earned his way onto the playing field. So those 3 came out late last night. Wanted to mention those off the top of the broadcast here tonight. Again, your thoughts? Who's missing in your mind? The one that comes out is Quinton, to me, that's still missing from this batch, but just a couple left to be handed out. And, again, offensive linemen, they can name them in honorary, like Ethan Piper. In the first go-around, he was voted in there, but he can't wear it because by rule, offensive linemen cannot wear single-digit numbers. Offensive linemen have to be between 50 and 79. It's a rule that's been around in football forever. So if another offensive lineman gets voted on, they won't be able to wear one of those jerseys either. They can just kind of have an honorary thing. In fact, it was interesting. I think it might have been Amy Just of the Lincoln Journal-Star at Coach Rural's presser on Tuesday just made a comment, what are you going to do, let him wear like a patch? And he looked at her and he says, that's not a bad idea. He goes, I hadn't even thought about that. Maybe we give those guys, maybe give Ethan Piper a patch that he wears on his shoulder pad that indicates that he'd been voted to get a single-digit number, but because via rule he can't do that. So, yeah, cool deal. So they'll try to figure out something, I think, to honor Ethan, and who knows? There's maybe another one that's coming down the pike before this is all done, and they're all handed out there. All right, again, 402-413-2400, full show for you tonight. Kind of fun around the stadium right now. A lot of people walking around, they're peering into me like I'm a zoo animal. I feel like I need to do a trick or something. Maybe I'll have Cole and Camden do some juggling for the folks. Because we had the freshman picture took place inside the stadium about an hour ago. What they do, this has become a tradition at Nebraska. The freshman class, and school starts on Monday, so pretty much everybody's moved in. This is party weekend, by the way, on campus. I mean, you don't have class, you don't have studies. So all the freshmen were supposed to be here between 4:30 and 5. They lined them all up on the Big N in the middle of the field at Memorial Stadium, and they take a group photo of the freshman class. And then it's kind of cool. You can go back later, and once it gets published, to go try to find yourself. You know, you zoom in and try to find where you were standing inside that. Then, here in about 40 minutes, we're going to give you a little bit of concert. Right, Cole? Okay. The band is putting on, the marching band does a Friday night concert tonight. So that starts at 7 o'clock tonight. So we have a lot of people kind of walking around the stadium trying to find their way in. So that's why I made the comment about we're kind of a zoo exhibit here on the east side. The doors around us are closed. They can't enter the stadium from where we are tonight. So I think they're all coming through the south end zone gates to get in for the band concert. So we may, if we can get it technically hooked, we'll try to play a few bars of the band concert that'll be going on at 7 o'clock tonight. Those young folks have been on campus for a couple of weeks working their tails off. I mean, early morning practices. We've left late at night, and the drum line is out here on the east side of the stadium working on their craft. And so they work so hard. So this is kind of a little concert to show off what they've been doing for the last couple of weeks as they get ready for the college football season. And I talked about the bands at high school games. I mean, isn't it great? You have the marching bands at college football games. It's certainly part of the pageantry that makes the sport so much what we love in college football. All right, need to step aside. I've gone long-winded here on the break. That happens to me when I don't have Jessica to say, shut up, stop. I know she had to do that with JB a couple times last week. So yeah, we'll step aside, get a break. I see some texts coming in. I'll get to those texts after I take a break, and we'll play some clips from Tony White. All that coming up next.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Hy-Vee makes grocery shopping easy with Hy-Vee Aisles Online. Just order online, schedule a pickup or delivery time, then leave the shopping to us. Download the Hy-Vee app or go to HyVeeAislesOnline.com. It's easy to create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Plus, with Hy-Vee Aisles Online, pickup is free on orders over $24.95, and delivery is free with the Hy-Vee Plus membership. Save time, shop online with Hy-Vee Aisles Online.
Do you need to relocate to a different city or state but don't know where to start? If so, put the power of BHA Real Estate to work for you. BHA will set you up with the best real estate agent in your new town. Have a house to sell first? No problem. They can assist you with that as well. With over 70 years of experience, BHA has a network to ensure one of the biggest transactions in life will be handled with care that you deserve and the service that you can trust. Give BHA Real Estate a call today for all your relocation needs. 308-324-5581.
Hey, Husker fans! Kinetic now offers fast 99% reliable internet for just $39.99 a month for 12 months. Whether you're at home, school, or work, Kinetic Internet delivers the speed you need to stream, game, and stay connected with fellow Nebraska fans around the world. Only $39.99 a month for 12 months. And just like our teams in scarlet and cream, no one else even comes close. Check availability at windstream.com. Kinetic Internet, proud sponsor of Husker Athletics. Terms and conditions apply.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Oh, but he can't make it because he's so hot. The air conditioning is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling his favorite Luxair dealer. Trusted since 1950, with Luxair you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student-athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student-athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Meet water's bubblier and more energetic best friend, Bubbler Antioxidant Sparkling Water. With tons of flavors, there's one for every occasion. Interviewing for your dream job, hitting the beach, or going on an epic road trip? Pop the top on your favorite Bubbler flavor and awesome antioxidants swoop in to balance your body and focus your mind. Right before a boost of natural caffeine shows up to save your day. There's a benefit in every bubble and a happier you just waiting to rise up. Find out more at Drink Bubbler on Instagram.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get 3.9% financing for 66 months plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe with you on a Friday night. Jessica's got the night off tonight. High school football, man, love it. Love to hear from you if you're on your way to a game. Maybe you're out in a tailgate, a little early for chili feeds, right? Yeah, that's an October deal, but maybe you're out tailgating, get your tent up, and a little breezy, at least here at the stadium. It is a little bit. I said before the break, got some texts coming in. Doug in Norfolk says, can you describe how far east and west the new Big Red building goes? I haven't been there since they tore the track out. Does it connect to the stadium? It does not. It butts up against the stadium, but I don't believe that any part of it can you walk from the current stadium into it. There's maybe just 10 steps at a couple spots where you can cross a bridge to get into it. But it goes probably within 20 yards of the Coliseum is how far it goes toward the east there. It's got a red roof. We talked about that earlier in the week, that the roof has been peeled back. It's got a red roof, but it does not. So it kind of snuggles up against the stadium, but it does not actually just connect right with the stadium. But if you're headed to the game here in a month or so, or you're coming to the volleyball match in less than 2 weeks, you'll be able to see it then. It's not done. They've not moved anything in there yet. I know that they're really trying to get it done so they can at least use the locker room for this football season, for the home game. So they'll keep working on that to try to get that done. So they're working hard. The guys have been here a lot in a couple of weeks. Couple of other texts. Carla says, Greg, do you know why offensive linemen jersey numbers are restricted to a specified number and no other position is? I do. Carla, that's a great question, and I'm glad you asked it because a lot of people just kind of let that fly by. It's because it helps the officials. It simplifies for them who are the eligible players to catch a pass, right? Because offensive linemen cannot catch pass. They're ineligible. You hear the term ineligible receiver. Well, those are the linemen, unless they report eligible and they're an addition to the 5 that you have out there. So assigning the offensive lineman a number, it simplifies the system that allows the officials to know at a quick glance, because it's a fast game, whether a player is an eligible receiver. So there's the explanation of why offensive linemen, and you're right, they're the only position that's limited between the numbers 50 and 79 for the offensive lineman. I'm glad you asked that. Thank you, Carter, for asking that question. Glad we were able to kind of sort that out and give it to you. John in Omaha. Greg, if you were a zoo animal, what animal would you be? Well, Cole said you got to be a parakeet because you're always yapping. So, okay, all right, I guess I can go with that. We'll find out what Camden and Cole think they would be later on in the show. TJ from Moorfield, if a player gets picked for a single digit, can they turn it down and keep their old number? Yeah, I suppose so. But as much emphasis as they put on that, I think right now it's a badge of honor to get that. I guess somebody could turn it down, but I wouldn't think that somebody would. But yeah, I guess that's probably possible that somebody could do that. All right, enough of me. We got a practice report to get to, right? Let's do it.
The 1890 Initiative presents the Nebraska Football Practice Report.
We're talking about practice.
Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com.
It was defensive coordinator Tony White's turn to step in front of the podium today to talk about practice. We have not heard from him since the scrimmage last Saturday, which Coach Rural said he did a terrific job for. So they have one more scrimmage tomorrow. The question for Coach White was, what is the goal for the scrimmage tomorrow for the defense?
I think the organization, the communication on the sideline. I've been conscious to stay off the field and not speak, to the guys and everything. Just more as you get closer to 8:31, you want to make it as game-like as possible. So the coach is stepping back and letting the guys organize themselves, communicate themselves, operate substitutions the right way. We just did it right now, and I didn't like how that went. Got a penalty on that, so I need to make sure we're clear on that. And but you want to make sure you're logistically sound that way.
That may seem funny to some people, but all the practices they've had now, the coaches are on the field with them. They're right behind the huddle, or they're right off to the side. They're in their ear. They're talking to them all the time, and so it's easier to get lined up and do all those type of things. So you can't do that in a game. You're not on the field. You're on the sideline or you're in the press box, and so you've got to work on your communication skills about, all right, we want this personnel in the game. We want that personnel in the game. So you've got to do all those things, and scrimmages are where you have to work out all those things. And I think the offense had some issues last week. They had some procedure penalties. They had some too many men on the field type things. So you got to work through all those issues, and that's where you get it done is during practice situation. All right, the defensive line, how's that group looked as camp has proceeded into the third week? Here's the defensive coordinator.
Well, first, I like the zero. I like the zero and the nose guard. I think it's kind of cool, But I think those guys are playing their butts off right now. And testament to Coach T. Knight and the bond he's created with those guys and with each other. I can hear him in the meeting rooms. This part in camp, it's so much X's and O's in football. The stress builds and everything, but you can always hear laughter. You can always hear guys being free in the room. So that's a good sound. And then those guys up front. I mean, when you see them come off the ball and you see them play, that's the most noticeable, right? Because the front is where it starts. And when those guys are playing physical and fast, you got a chance. So I like where those guys are at.
So some pretty glowing things there. Matt Rule kind of hinted at the other day that he thinks they can rotate 6. You're playing a 3-man front most of the time. He wants to be able to rotate 6, so that means you need to be too deep at all those spots, and I think they feel like they're pretty darn close to that. I mean, you'd like to be more than that, but if you can get to 6, you ought to be able to keep guys kind of fresh and fresh not only for that particular game you're playing in, but think about it. If you can take 8-10 snaps off of a guy per game, how much fresher they'll be in week 10, 11, 12 of the football season. So it really adds up as you make your way through the season. All right, we spent quite a bit of time in the last segment about the single digits. All of them last night that were revealed were defensive players. Coach White was asked, that's got to make you feel pretty good that so many of these are coming from your side of the ball.
Well, I mean, that's a testament to them. You know, I didn't do anything. Those guys are OOU guys, and it's really cool when that kind of reward comes from the team. You know, that coaches are out of it. It's a team honor. You know, and it's really neat for good guys to be rewarded, and those guys are good guys. Not that we don't have a lot of them in the locker room. It's really fun to see, because those are the guys who you kind of noticed early on that they were doing things the right way, and it's cool that they got rewarded that way.
Nice deal. We talked about John Bullock being one of those that got honored last night. He will wear the number 5 for the Huskers, the walk-on from Creighton Prep, whose brother Alex is doing some really good things in the wide receiving room. Coach White was asked about Bullock, and how cool is it to kind of stumble upon a guy like that?
Yeah, that's what this place is. You know, that's what Coach Rule said from day one about developing players. You know, and that's the neat thing with me being able to learn from him, is to see, you know, guys. People coach speak all the time, say things all the time, but it's one thing to apply it, and just the constant attention to who else can help us. Can they help us here? Can they do this? Can they move? What about if we moved them here? You know, never forget anybody on that roster. So it's a great learning experience, but it's great to see it applied on the grass to the team, and then see a guy like Bullock come away with, again, a single digit and a chance to really play.
With Bullock, he a year ago was working at safety in that secondary group, and, you know, this is where this staff looks at somebody and goes, well, let's try him at a different spot. And they moved him up a level. He's bulked up. He's done some work in the weight room, and now he's thriving at that linebacker position. And so, again, I love the creativity and the eye. And I think this is largely Coach Rule, who has kind of an eye to imagine, envision. You think about the great golfers are the ones that can imagine a shot. And every golfer, even the best, the Rorys, all of those, they get themselves in trouble, right? They hit it into the thick of trees or a rough, and then they got to be creative. They got to go, all right, if I hit this kind of a shot, I think I can get this kind of a result. Well, I think coaching's kind of like that too, particularly in the sport of football, where you can go, well, I see this guy, and he's been pegged as a defensive end, but maybe he should be playing offense. And I think this staff, I think it's a strength of this staff. We'll see. And, you know, I go back to the Pelini years. Bo did that quite a bit with guys, and case in point was Spencer Long, who's going to the Hall of Fame this fall. He came here as a defensive lineman. One day they're looking at him going, I think he could, or an offensive lineman, I think they looked at him and go, I think he could play defense. Moved him over there, and then flipped him over to the offensive side, and he turns into be an All-American offensive guard and an NFL player. So I think the true sign of that, and I think I get the sense that's a pretty big strength of Matt Rule moving forward. All right, last cut from Coach White. Quentin Newsom, who we're going to hear from in hour number 2, probably the most talented guy on the defense for Nebraska. NFL scouts have their eye on him. After seeing Cam Taylor-Britt a couple years ago, I think Q can play at the next level. He can play on Sundays in the NFL. Here's Coach White talking about the value of having a guy like Newsom in the secondary.
Yeah, it's like with Nick, right? When you got a guy who's played a lot of ball, nothing really spooks him. You know, he's very calm, and they can learn fast. They get the schematics. They just get the game, the in between the snaps, and you can see that with him. He's got a chance to be one of the best DBs. I don't want to say corners, DBs in the conference. Period. You know, so it's about him and his maturity and saying every play he can be that guy, and he's done a nice job so far. I mean, he's athletic. He can play the ball. He's shown. I think that he always knew he was physical, but he's putting it on the grass now. Coming up in the run game, the emphasis with the DBs, Coach Coop, Chev, Coach Rule, about physicality on all fronts. It's showing up, and that's the part of the game that I think is everybody. You know, you knew he could play the ball. You knew he can backpedal. You know he had good feet, but he's playing the run, and he's physical on those blocks, and I think the confidence is building in him. So it's cool.
So there you go. Comments from Tony White about Quentin Newsom as he heads toward that second scrimmage tomorrow. the team will have the scrimmage tomorrow, and then they actually get 2 days off, Sunday and Monday. And Monday is the first day of school. I think they did that on purpose because they know it's first day of school. Guys need to get to class. You also grow your roster starting next week because you're limited to 120 guys through camp until school begins. And then the rest of the team will join. I think there's only maybe 10 more that have not been able to participate. I think it's going to be in the low 130s for this year. I think we'll get a final number next week. But after tomorrow's scrimmage, 2 days off, we'll get some reaction after the scrimmage tomorrow from Coach Rural. We'll recap for you on Monday night's program here on Sports Nightly. All right, thoughts, reactions? What'd you hear? What piqued your interest hearing from Coach White in that segment? 402-413-2400. The number to call us up with a comment, a question, or fire off a text. That is our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned that you could always find what you are looking for. More of the show coming up.
Okay, men, huddle up. Look, we're playing one of the best football teams in the country today, and quite frankly, we don't have a chance against these guys. Let's face it, we're going to get slaughtered out there. But the good news is that the Nebraska Lottery has scratch and lotto prizes that any one of us could win.
Yeah!
After the game, we're taking the team bus to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer to see if we can win big.
Let's go!
So let's get out there and lose with pride.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
There are a lot of rates out there, and it can be tough to find the right one. Well, let's make it easy. With FNBO's special offer CD of 5.5% APY for 7 or 17 months, you can earn more, save more, and do more. That's 5.5% annual percentage yield for 7 or 17 months at your nearest FNBO location with a minimum deposit of $500 and an FNBO Premier checking account. So stop on by and give your savings a great big boost with the Great Big Small Bank. FNBO, member FDIC.
If unwanted hair is putting you in a prickly situation, give laser hair removal a try. Milan Laser Hair Removal delivers smooth, hair-free skin with permanent results for men and women of all skin tones. So there's no more unwanted stubble, razor burn, or ingrown hairs. Visit any of Milan Laser's 7 Nebraska locations to get 1 free treatment. Ready to never shave again? Call 833-NO-RAZOR or visit MilanLaser.com to book your free treatment and consultation. That's MilanLaser.com.
Today we have 2 very special guests on our program introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For new Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So we could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, I like it. So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip.
Works for me. New Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Road Townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red!
SOS to the rescue! SOS to the rescue!
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Oh, but he can't make it because he's so hot. The air conditioning is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling his favorite Luxair dealer. Trusted since 1950, with Luxair you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue! SOS! SOS!
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Folks, right now enjoy great value on outdoor power equipment from Steel. From gas-powered blowers, chainsaws, and more to high-performance pressure washers built to tackle the dirtiest jobs. Find yours at stihldealers.com, available at participating dealers. Greg Sharpe back with you on a Friday night. Again, Jessica getting a well-deserved night off. She'll be back on Monday. Chat room is discussing about when's the next time we'll hear from Matt Rule. He will talk after the scrimmage tomorrow. So you'll hear his immediate reaction after the scrimmage. We'll replay some of those for you Monday night. I did say the team gets Monday off. So we'll have a next full practice report by Tuesday. But the coach will talk tomorrow after the scrimmage. So those are big, right? I mean, that's like the dress rehearsal before the game against the Gophers on the 31st. Of the month. Andy in Phoenix on our text line said the fact that number 6 was not taken, I'd say Q has to get the single-digit player and get that number back. I tend to agree with you, Andy, because my guess is once guys are picked and said, okay, you're in, they probably talk amongst themselves and say, well, let's maybe save that for somebody else. So we'll see. And, hey, Q's got to get voted in. It's not just given to him. Coaches can't just go override. This has got to be the teammates picking that out. And we're going to hear from Quinton coming up in hour number 2. Art in Los Angeles, back to our animal discussion. Greg, I completely disagree. If you were an animal, it would most definitely be the orangutan. The orangutan is the smartest animal on planet Earth. Art Cole disagrees with you. He said it's the human being, but I take your point. That is why that's the animal you would be. So Art thinks I would be an orangutan. Cole thinks I'm a parakeet, because if I'm in the zoo, I would just be talking so much. But we were talking about that. If you're joining us late, where have you been, by the way? But the band is putting on a concert in the stadium tonight. So we have a lot of people walking by our studio trying to get in, and they can't get in on this side of the stadium. So I said I felt like I'm kind of at a zoo right now, people looking at me doing the show. It would have been really helpful to have Jessica here tonight. They could have looked at her. That would have been very helpful. They don't want to look at Camden or Cole or me. So They're stuck with me in here tonight. All right, 402-413-2400, the number to fire up a comment or question. Got a little NFL football in the studio tonight. We've got the NFL preseason game, the Giants and the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young, the new quarterback now for Carolina. That's, of course, the organization that Matt Rule was in charge of the last couple of years. He just didn't have a quarterback. Boy, he'd have loved to have coached Bryce Young. The Panthers just kicked a field goal, and it's 7-3 Giants early second quarter in the NFL. All right, I need to step aside, get our final break in, but we do have time to tell you to buckle up, put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We will wrap up hour one next.
There's no community like a Cenex community, and that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get 3.9% financing for 66 months plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Meet water's bubblier and more energetic best friend. Bubbler Antioxidant Sparkling Water. With tons of flavors, there's one for every occasion. Interviewing for your dream job, hitting the beach, or going on an epic road trip? Pop the top on your favorite bubbler flavor and awesome antioxidants swoop in to balance your body and focus your mind. Right before a boost of natural caffeine shows up to save your day. There's a benefit in every bubble and a happier you just waiting to rise up. Find out more at Drink Bubbler on Instagram.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student-athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student-athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe with you here on a Friday night. Sam in Omaha says he is on his way to that Creighton Prep Bell West game. Decent night for weather. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's not 90s. It's going to be bad tomorrow and Sunday, but not bad tonight. For some high school football. Sam, have a good time. Cheer loud. Let us know what you think of Danny Kalin after on Monday's show, the Bell West quarterback who's committed to the Cornhuskers. John in Omaha started the whole thing about the animals. The boys are mad at me because I didn't throw it to them last segment because they both have selected their own animals. Cole, what do you got?
I got a squirrel, and I'm ready to defend myself here. A squirrel because I can climb trees pretty well, and I'm often seen on campus because I work You can't believe it, can you?
Are you brown or black?
Probably brown.
Because, we have black squirrels around here.
We do. I've seen them.
Freaks people out when you tell them that. They don't believe you. But we do have some of those. All right, Camden.
I'd go with a dolphin because dolphins are friendly and they're also highly intelligent. So I think a dolphin would be a good match for
Do you swim?
I can, yeah. I can swim.
Well, that's kind of a prerequisite if you're going to be a dolphin. You better be able to swim.
Yeah, I can swim.
Okay. All right. So we got a squirrel and a dolphin. I'm not sure we could have got much further apart in the animal chart than those two, but okay. That's what we're going with here tonight on the program. And so crazy. This show's got so far off the rails. We got another hour to go. We'll be able to do that. Another text, Greg, I called the other night and asked if you knew if they had plans to somehow mic up the press when they're asking questions during the press conferences so you can hear. We get that a lot. Once the new building is done, there's going to be a media center over there where they're going to do the press gatherings afterwards, and it's going to be fully mic'd and all that. Right now, they've got a temporary setup where they're doing these post-practice interviews on the concourse, so where you're buying the popcorn and the Fairbury hot dogs, they're right outside of that. And so it's just impossible to try to mic the reporters for the practices for that. But they know this. The athletic department's, with the new building, they have ordered a lot of audio visual equipment to get that thing properly mic'd up so that you can hear it. Not going to be able to do anything about it while we're doing them in the concourse now. So they understand it. It's just, it's a scrum when they bring those coaches in there and they're in the hallways. The blowers above are going. It's kind of loud sometimes with that. So I know that can be frustrating to not quite hear what is being asked of these coaches. But that's why we break it all down for you on Sports Nightly. That's why we set up what the question is about, and you can hear what the coach says. So I'm taking care of the problem for you. Just listen to Sports Nightly on a nightly basis, and I will lay out what every question is about. And so I'm taking that burden off of your plate to do that. So that's what I'm here for, to provide this public service for all of you people out there. Steve in Bellevue, for Cole, did you hear about, is he throwing me a joke? Wait a minute, Steve. I got to read this whole thing.
Oh, it's not joke day anymore, Greg. Can't be reading jokes on a...
Steve, I'll let Cole read that off the air. But, yeah, Cole offered his jokes Thursday nights, and we heard that thing last night. So that's Steve. I'm sorry. One of those for a week's probably enough for me. I can't handle much more after that. Hey, folks, our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, and you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. All right, 1 hour in the books. You can be the judge. Was it any good or not? That's fine. I can take it. Next hour, Quentin Newsom. Jessica caught up with him earlier in the week, left that for us to listen in tonight. And Matt Cody, he will brighten all of our days. He'll be with us coming up with the second hour. We'll talk some football with him. And also, hey, can't let Coat come through without talking a little women's hoops as well on the program. So don't go away. Come on back. Hour 2 next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Calling all Husker fans. Woodhouse Auto Family is thrilled to be a sponsor of Volleyball Day in Nebraska. And to share the excitement, we're giving you a chance to win tickets. As the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics, Woodhouse takes great pride in supporting the Huskers and the passionate Nebraska fan base. And we want to see you in the Sea of Red at Volleyball Day in Nebraska. To enter for a chance to win tickets to the event and learn more, visit woodhouse.com today.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting student Grant Hansen with Campus News. As worldwide leaders in ag technology, UNL faculty and students innovate using emerging technologies to improve yields and nutrition, and designing wireless in-field networks increasing precision in agriculture. Plus, UNL is breaking ground on a $7.2 million feedlot innovation center near Meade. UNL is doing big things for the future of agriculture.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid materials with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blauhorn help take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get 3.9% financing for 66 months plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Good evening. I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. The Husker football team continued fall camp earlier today. After practice, defensive coordinator Tony White spoke to the media about a variety of different topics, including what it's like to try and defend quarterback Jeff Sims.
Sims is a different player. He's a totally different player, and that goes top down. Body-wise, athletic. He was always gifted athletically. I remember playing him when I was at my old school, and you can see the talent there. He is just I think he's on a different level with Coach Rule and Coach Sat with him, Adam DeMichael. Those guys being there, Corey, Dr. Haskell, working the mind. He's fun to watch, especially seeing him back then and seeing him now. I think when you're a quarterback, you're all-encompassing, right? You see him and you say, he can run and do all that stuff. I think his reads, I think his confidence in the pocket, I think his maturity, I think his strength, his arm. You name it. The guy has really put in the work to be a leader in this system at Nebraska. So it's on defending him on the other side. He's making me a better coach for sure.
A big day for Nebraska volleyball tomorrow, as they will host their own fan day from 10 to 12 at the Devaney Concourse. Huskers players and coaches will sign autographs for 2 hours before turning their attention to the scrimmage later that night. First serve is set for 6 p.m. You can join John Baylor and Lauren Cook-West right here on the Huskers Radio Network for pregame coverage beginning at 5. And finally, some Major League Baseball scores. A couple of games final from earlier in the day. The Royals defeated the Cubs 4-3. The Tigers defeated the Guardians in Game 1 of the doubleheader 4-2. Currently, the Blue Jays and Reds are scoreless in the 5th. The Red Sox lead the Yankees 7-0 in the 3rd, and the Braves lead the Giants 3-0 in the 4th. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now, get ready for Hour 2 of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Turn, give it off to Grant. He picks his way inside the 45, bounces to the outside, 40, 35, 30, foot race now, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska. Snap back to Van Treese, play actions. Gets hit as he throws, pass headed down the end zone. Buford goes up and makes the interception at the 1-yard line. Marquise Buford's second pick of the game, and it was created by some pressure on the quarterback, Van Treese.
Red, fed left, Lindsay gets it through. They stayed with it, and Krause muscles it through a double Buckeye block. Becca Williams, Spring Lake, Texas, serves back right. Nice pass, quick attack. Becca, Alec, Big Red, kaboom!
Here is your host, Greg Sharpe, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Who's ready for some kabooms tomorrow night from JB? Should be fun. Red-white scrimmage, 6 o'clock. We launch our 1-hour pregame coverages of Husker volleyball starting tomorrow night. John Bader and Lauren Cook here on the network and on our great affiliates throughout the state of Nebraska. That's an expansion for the network this year, going to 1-hour pregames for Husker volleyball. John Cook had a little press gathering 2 days ago and said he's going to try to divide the teams up pretty evenly. So this should be really highly entertaining and very competitive tomorrow night at the Devaney Center. And as Camden just told you, their fan day is tomorrow morning, and that's really the only time that they're going to make the team available during the season for scholarships is tomorrow morning from 10 to noon. They'll clear you out then, get the arena ready for the scrimmage that night, and then it's off and running. They'll play 3 matches next weekend, 1 Friday, 1 Saturday, 1 Sunday, as the season is about here for the 5th-ranked Cornhuskers. Again, fan day tomorrow at 10 o'clock. That's going to be one heck of a team. Our first volleyball show with the coach is next Thursday. We're flipping the coaches. Matt Rural really wanted to have his radio show earlier in the week, so he's going to go to Tuesdays, which is where John Cook has been for years, and Coach Cook was gracious enough to go, yeah, that's fine, we'll go to Thursdays. So that's going to be for most of the fall. We'll have a couple of weeks when you've got matches on certain nights that we have to move things around, but primarily football Tuesdays and Thursdays for volleyball, and also special treat next week. We will have our first Trev Alberts Athletic Director's Show of the year for you Wednesday night. So Tuesday night, Matt Rural. Wednesday night, Trev Alberts. Thursday night, John Cook. Friday night, Husker volleyball starts it off against Utah State at 6 o'clock at the Devaney Center. So there you go. That's the next week coming up here on Sports Nightly. We're talking about if you were an animal, what animal would you be? The chat room's having a great time with this tonight. Andy says King would be a pit bull. Crypto King says to Andy, you'd be a shark. Somebody says, Mike says, I'm more of an elephant. So everybody's having a lot of fun with that in the chat room tonight. I am somewhere between a parakeet and an orangutan. I mean, I'm not quite sure where I go with all of that. Text line question, Mike in Grand Island. Grass field question, what's the watering situation? I'm pretty sure, Mike, they've got underground sprinkler systems going. He was wondering if you could do that with sprinkler heads on the field. Yeah, pretty much every grass field, they've got sprinklers set up. They just have to drop them down below the surface, but I'm pretty sure that's how they're watering the field, is through the underground sprinkler systems. I'll ask on Monday. And that may be a great question for Trev on Wednesday. He would probably have the answer to that. But sometimes the grounds folks walk by our studio here in East Stadium, and if I see one on the next day or two, I'll grab them and ask them what that is about. All right, here's this hour 2. We're going to hear from Quentin Newsom here in just a scant moment. Jessica caught up with Q earlier in the week. And then Matt Coatney is going to drop by and enlighten all of us, as he always does. We'll talk some football, some women's hoops with him. And then later in the hour, we'll have our winners and losers of the week. And we want you to be a part of this one as well, 402-413-2400 to fire off a comment or a question. For those watching the YouTube stream, there is a band concert going inside the stadium right now. The Cornhusker, the pride of all Nebraska, the Cornhusker Marching Band is putting on a concert tonight for folks. We've had a lot of people trying to get in the east side of the stadium. I think the gates on the south side are open. Have they started yet? Oh, they might have started. I thought we were going to at least be able to show video, but I guess that dropped off for us. But a lot of people came in to support the band. They've been hard at work the last couple of weeks getting ready for the season, because it's a big time for them too. They have a few extra weeks this year with a late start for the home schedule, not till September the 16th. But kind of fun around the stadium here tonight. All right, Jessica caught up with maybe the most experienced guy in that Husker defense, and that's Quentin Newsom, who's played a lot of football at Nebraska and played at a very, very high level for the Cornhuskers. Here's Jessica with Q.
Well, how's it feeling so far through camp?
It feels great, just excited to be out there with the guys.
Overall, how do you feel like this defense has progressed so far up until this point compared to where you've been in years past?
I think it's just exciting to see, guys, everybody flying around to the ball, no matter where it's at, just seeing the relentless effort on defense, guys out there making plays, and it's just great to see.
How have you liked learning this new defense with Coach White?
It's been a very, interesting, process, and, it's a lot of new stuff going on, and I think that everybody is really excited about it because, it just allows us to play more freely and make more plays around the ball.
You've been here, been around, played a lot of football, and one of the best players in this league in defensive back. What was your approach going into this season, knowing, now that you're older, you're being looked at to go to the league? How have you gone into this fall camp this year?
Just, trying to be a pro at everything I do, whether it's, with meetings, with watching film, with being on the field, just trying to perfect everything that I do and, bring along those younger guys who look up to me, just, making sure that they're on the same level.
Being that is the goal, how much has that helped, being that this staff just came from the league and some of the things that they're implementing here?
I would say that, it's a great thing to have that, coaches coming from the NFL, because they know what it looks like and they've coached it, they've seen it all. So, they just tell me little things to fix and to do better, and, they just always trying to help me out.
You've been coaching up some of those younger defensive backs. I know there's a lot of young talent in that room. How's that been, being kind of the leader and helping those guys along?
It's been fun. Those guys, I remember when I was like them when I was younger. They just always got energy, always want to play. But when it's time to get on the field, they lock in, they're ready to ball. So, it's just exciting just seeing them guys develop.
Is it fun for you now that you see the game differently and you're able to pass it along to the next generation?
Yeah, it's a great feeling just because, I know that my older guys, they did so much for me, that they might not even know. So just, having that feeling, just passing it along so they can pass it along when they get older.
You have a relationship with the Boodles. Tell us about that.
DiCaprio, Decap, he was here my freshman and sophomore year. He taught me a lot of the stuff I know today. He was always hard on me, just, make sure I came to practice every day. And I'm with his little brother. I call him Lil Cap. His name Dwight. I call him Lil Cap. And, everything Decap did for me, I'm trying to do for him. And just, show love and just, make sure he always good.
I saw you at practice the other day. You're coaching him up at a play. How have you seen him progress along? Because he got here in January. I know you've had some time with him now. So how has his game progressed? He's got a lot better. Just in terms of being more physical, being versatile. Just making more plays, and I feel like he's really bought into what's going on here. What's it like going through this with so many guys that you've played so much football with? Guys like Luke and Nick and Ty and so many players that you've been through the battles together and now going through this thing again this season. It's just, great to have, those guys around. I feel like we've gotten closer during this process, just, bonding, whether it's, just going somewhere, going out together, just being in the locker room, watching film together. We always having a great time. So a lot of that was in the dorms. There's a lot of brotherhood going on, some bonding. There's some pranks going on. Who's the best prankster on the team? Dang, I don't know. I don't even have an answer for that one. I have no idea. You got some goofballs in there. Yeah, we do. How much does that help, though, go through this process, that bond, that camaraderie that you guys have been able to develop up until this point? It's great because, if you don't have a brotherhood within your team, then it's just not going to work out. Just knowing that the guy on the left and right have your back, whether it's on or off the field, it's just a great feeling. And guys who are going to hold you accountable, it's just, great to know that they won't let you be below what they know you can be. Has it been different for you stepping into that leadership role where you are more vocal? Because I know Coach Cooper was talking about that, like, being that you are where you are and challenging guys and holding guys accountable. Has that been a process for you? I would say just, trying to be more vocal. You can never be too vocal. So just trying to keep on leading by example as well. Just trying to do everything the right way. So, when the younger guys, they look at me, if I'm doing it, they think they can do it. So it's just, trying to be the best I could be. Last thing, what goes into these next couple weeks to be ready for 8/31? Just being disciplined, knowing everything that's going on, and just staying focused at the task at hand. Appreciate your time. For sure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I think Q's going to have a heck of a year. I think that his is one really good football player. Last year, so many times, teams just would go and throw away from him. They didn't even really challenge him several different times. I will remember, and I've kidded him about this, you all remember this, the Iowa game, he should have clearly had like 2 interceptions and would have sealed the game at a couple different points, and he couldn't hang on to the football. And I remember saying to him after the game, I go, well, I guess I now know why you're not a wide receiver and you're a DB. But he can play. Great cover skills, heck of an athlete, terrific football player. And I think he's going to have a big season for the Cornhuskers in that secondary. I like our corners. I mean, you got him and you got Malcolm Hartzog on the other side. I think those are 2 really, really solid corners for the Huskers entering this year. And, again, I think the thought by this coaching staff is that they want to rotate guys. They want more people out there and to try to keep guys fresh, play more people. And I think we noticed that a little bit with Bill Bush when he took over midseason last year. I think there was more subs. I think there were more guys getting snaps. And I know that coaches get nervous because they want their best out there at all times, but you got to build depth and you got to take some chances and you got to give kids chances, try to go make some plays out there. So I think you'll see this group do that and get some more people. Matt Rule's he wants between 18 and 22 guys to play on defense. So that's pretty close to a 2 deep across the board for them. So we'll see how that plays out as we move forward. Hey, buckle up, folks. Put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. 402-413-2400, the number to be a part of the program with a call or a text. When we come back, Matt Coatney is going to jump in here. We'll talk to Coat, talk about some football, some women's basketball. We'll get it all covered with Matt Coatney next.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Calling all Husker fans. Woodhouse Auto Family is thrilled to be a sponsor of Volleyball Day in Nebraska. And to share the excitement, we're giving you a chance to win tickets. As the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics, Woodhouse takes great pride in supporting the Huskers and the passionate Nebraska fan base. And we want to see you in the Sea of Red at Volleyball Day in Nebraska. To enter for a chance to win tickets to the event and learn more, visit woodhouse.com today.
Allergy season is officially here. Your home should be a place where you can escape dust, pollen, and other allergens, but every time you enter your home, you bring them inside. John Henry's offers numerous products to remove allergens and germs from your home. Call John Henry's today to learn more about our indoor air quality products to breathe easier in your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
There's a new kind of season ticket when you fly from the Lincoln Airport, the official airport of the Huskers. Now at LNK, choose from fast, affordable, non-stop flights to your favorite vacation spots. All from an airport that's relaxed and hassle-free. It's never been easier to get off the bench and enjoy an adventure with the whole family. Visit GoFlyLNK.com and book your trip today. Let's go.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Calling all Husker fans. Woodhouse Auto Family is thrilled to be a sponsor of Volleyball Day in Nebraska. And to share the excitement, we're giving you a chance to win tickets. As the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics, Woodhouse takes great pride in supporting the Huskers and the passionate Nebraska fan base. And we want to see you in the Sea of Red at Volleyball Day in Nebraska. To enter for a chance to win tickets to the event and learn more, visit woodhouse.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There are a lot of rates out there, and it can be tough to find the right one. Well, let's make it easy. With FNBO's special offer CD of 5.5% APY for 7 or 17 months, you can earn more, save more, and do more. That's 5.5% annual percentage yield for 7 or 17 months at your nearest FNBO location with a minimum deposit of $500 and an FNBO Premier checking account. So stop on by and give your savings a great big boost with the Great Big Small Bank. FNBO, member FDIC.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Husker fans, we need your support in celebrating the 100th year of Memorial Stadium while cheering on the Huskers this fall. Purchase an all-new Husker football Big Ten 3-game package today for only $100. This package gets you a ticket to the Northwestern, Purdue, and Maryland home games, all for just $100. A very limited amount of Husker football single-game tickets are also on sale. Tickets are only available while supplies last. Purchase yours today at huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red!
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Hy-Vee makes grocery shopping easy with Hy-Vee Aisles Online. Just order online, schedule a pickup or delivery time, then leave the shopping to us. Download the Hy-Vee app or go to HyVeeAislesOnline.com. It's easy to create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Plus, with Hy-Vee Aisles Online, pickup is free on orders over $24.95, and delivery is free with the Hy-Vee Plus membership. Save time, shop online with Hy-Vee Aisles Online.
A few drinks at home after work, a couple of hits at a party with some friends, over-the-counter drugs for a minor illness, a new daily prescription, and you're not quite sure how it makes you feel. It doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If it impairs you, driving becomes deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Come back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. It is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Boy, it's been an all-star week here on the show. I mean, we had Ben McLaughlin a couple nights ago, Nate Rohr, and then we saved the best for last with Matt Coatney coming on with us here tonight. Coat, how are you? How's your summer been?
Oh, my goodness, Greg. It has been a great summer, and can you believe how close we are to our first football game? I'm so excited. It's been great.
Well, it is. You're right. It's almost here again, and I can't wait to start hearing your game breakdowns as we start counting down to kickoff. And, anytime you get a new coach, there's excitement level. I'm guessing you've sensed that around the people that you interact with every day.
There's not a day that's gone by since Matt Rule got named coach of the Huskers that someone doesn't ask me, how do you think the team's going to be? How many wins? What do you think? And Husker Nation is very excited. I think that this is going to be a season where, I don't want to be a wet blanket, but I try to temper some people's expectations because during the off season, there's a lot of optimism, and there should be about recruiting and what you see in practice. But I remind everybody that other schools have scholarship players, and other schools are excited. So, if there is a game in which things don't go necessarily our way, don't get too down on it, because I really think Matt Rule has come in here and really established a culture that's going to be a winning culture and can sustain it for a long time. But fans are very excited, and they love talking to me about it, and I love talking to them about it.
Well, Coach, I know you're back for the full day for us, including the wrap-up with Big Red Reaction, and I get so much, and I know you do as well, so many comments about that show. What's it like for you to host that every year?
I have no way of expressing or illustrating with my vocabulary how much I love doing that show. I remember when I moved to Nebraska, listening to Gary Jabba host that show back in 1995, and I remember sitting there thinking, what a great show. I can't believe they had that many callers, because anywhere I've lived around the country, a call-in show, you'd get the, hey, we have open phone lines. What I love about the show is we get the immediate reaction of Husker Nation before anybody's read any articles, before 5,000 other shows have weighed in, before any press conferences. We get that temperature immediately after the show. And, Greg, sometimes I think I know what fans are interested in, but when they surprise me, it really is something. And it kind of reminds me that we can sit there in the booth and watch the game and have our take on it, but the way the fans watch the game isn't always the same. And I love that. And, it's a great show, because sometimes people have told me who aren't football fans, they listen to the show for the callers who might be a little left of the rail. And there's a segment of that also. So I have to remember there's people who listen to it for the football end of it, and for the entertainment end of it, and I want to make sure that all those people are being served. But mainly, it's about the callers. And you know what? They've never let me down, and I know they're not going to this year also. I love doing that show.
And, Coat, you've had callers from all over the world, haven't you?
Oh, my goodness. We've had New Zealand. We've had China. We've had Malaysia. I mean, and, you know, and I feel sorry for our call screeners because Kota Kinabalu, Malaysia doesn't fit on our call screen, okay? And so I might have to hit the mute button and turn around and say, is this caller really from China? You know, and but, you know, that's the beauty of the show is we get callers from Texas and Tennessee and California and, you know, some of these other states. And so I always like saying Bob in Bedford and John in Texas and Julio in Malaysia. Stay there. We'll be with you after the break. And it's so great when I come home and think about where all I talk to people. I mean, and the power of streaming, it makes that possible. Because, you know, back when you and I started in this business, there was no someone listening to a broadcast in China.
No.
You know, so it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Matt Coatney with us. You're going to hear him throughout the fall with Husker football. And we announced this last night because we had Josh Banderas with us on the program. We're going to be rotating co-hosts with you throughout the fall. Josh will be one of them. In fact, he'll be with you for game one with Minnesota. But Tommy Armstrong, who was a heck of a quarterback for the Huskers about 10 years ago, he's going to be another co-host with you. And Zach Potter, who played defense for the Huskers and then went on in the NFL, played offense. What your thoughts about having kind of a rotating chair across from you?
Well, you talk about a fresh show every week, and you talk about the perspectives of both offensive and defensive people and people who have played this at a high level. And, you know, Bando has filled in several years ago many times. Love working with him. I'm looking very forward to getting Tommy Gunn's perspective on things. He had such a great career. He was the quarterback for the Huskers when most of my kids were going to school here and in the band, so they sat in the stands and watched him. And I just think it's going to be a really fresh show every time with different opinions. And that's the great thing about having a former player is they can bring their perspective. I mean, you think about Zach Potter's perspective from the pro level at a different position than he played here at Nebraska. I mean, he can weigh in on about everything. So the show is about the fans, but it's also about the former players, you know, and I'm just there trying to get us on and off the highway safely. And those three, I think fans are really going to enjoy their interaction with us.
Now, let me ask you, first game, Thursday night, you're going to be on the air probably till about 2. Are you taking the next day off?
I am, and, you know, I'll probably be up at 7 a.m., and that'll be sleeping in for me. But you know, I'm kind of a night owl as it is. My son Ben has his first high school band game at Bennington High School. The defending state champs take on Blair on that, Plattsmouth on that Friday night. And so I want to make sure that I'm fresh to go watch that halftime show. But, hey, high school football starts, I think,
tonight.
Weekend.
There was week zero
tonight,
games,
Yeah, that's unbelievable. So, no, I'll be taking Friday off of work. And it'll be a nice long weekend. And then that Saturday, I plan on getting together with my sons who are over 30 years old. We're going to get together, and we're just going to watch all the games. Because I don't, you know, Greg, you and I don't really get a chance to just sit down and watch games all day on Saturday. So that weekend is shaping up to be really, really special for football fans, I think, whether it's high school, Husker football, college football. That's going to be fun. Oh,
that's fantastic. And Matt Coatney with us. You're going to hear him throughout the fall with our football broadcast, and then it's going to be women's basketball season before you know it. And, boy, they, I guess, had a terrific trip to Greece to go over there. And I don't know that the competition was that good, but I'm sure they had a wonderful trip, and I know you're excited to watch that team compete this winter.
Yeah, I really was. And you're right. You don't go there necessarily for the competition. You go there for team building and to kind of put people in game-like situations. And it was a perfect situation to see with Darian White, the wonderful transfer who comes to us from Montana State, who's going to play a lot, who kind of is going to play the Sam Hybe role on this team. And to get the freshmen in there Natalie Potts, I love watching her in practice. Logan Nisley coming out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Potts, the Missouri State Player of the Year. To get them playing with college teammates. I love going to practice right before they went to Greece, seeing Allison Widener being able to do quite a bit of things coming off her knee injury. I think Allison's going to be fine to start the season. And then Jessica Petrie met the team in Greece. She was coming from the FIBA Under-19 championships, and so she went ahead and just joined the team directly. So then she came, to campus. So, Ani Stewart had a big tournament over there. Alexis Markowski looked like a beast, and Lex is going to have a big season because we're going to have to find some rebounding with Izzy Bourne moving on. But, Greg, if you can't be excited about Jazz Shelley coming back, because I thought that was a 50-50 deal, she's going to be back. And if you've got a team that's got Jazz Shelley, you got a chance to be pretty good.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we've got some student help this year. One of them, his name is Camden. In fact, he's here with me tonight. I promised him that I would not ask you about the Cardinals. He's a big Cardinal fan like you are, because I don't want to. I mean, it's just been
I love the guy.
It's been a painful summer for you Cardinal fans.
It's been terrible. But, I did get to see the Cardinals. I was at a meeting in Phoenix last month, and the Cardinals were in Phoenix to play the Diamondbacks. Got to see Adam Wainwright pitch in his final year. That was very special. Love the ballpark down there. Look, Mason Wynn got called up, and he's going to start at shortstop tonight. And everybody in Husker Nation is talking about low uniform numbers now. Mason Wynn, the top prospect in the Cardinals minor league, was given uniform number 0, and he looks nothing at all like the polar bear. But I'm loving number 0 right now. Look, I'm a Cardinal fan through thick and thin. I can't wait to meet Camden. I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. I still watch every game every night, so it's been a tough season. But you know what? Cardinals are my team, and I'm sticking with them.
Fantastic. Coach, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on. Looking forward to seeing you a lot more as we get this season cranked up, and enjoy one of your last few weekends of 2023.
Hey, can't wait, Sharpie. Thanks a lot for having me on.
There he is, Matt Cody, joining us on our Sports Nightly Hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned that you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. All right, phone lines, text lines back open for you, 402-413-2400. We're back to continue tonight's little party show on a Friday next.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Now get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
There are a lot of rates out there, and it can be tough to find the right one. Well, let's make it easy. With FNBO's special offer CD of 5.5% APY for 7 or 17 months, you can earn more, save more, and do more. That's 5.5% annual percentage yield for 7 or 17 months at your nearest FNBO location, with a minimum deposit of $500 and an FNBO Premier checking account. So stop on by and give your savings a great big boost with the Great Big Small Bank. FNBO, member FDIC.
Hi, Husker Nation. This is Jim Baldonado with the Home Agency. It's been a stormy summer, but that's why we do what we do. Whether auto, home, crop, farm, or commercial coverage, our agents shine when it comes to providing you with the best coverage and customer service after the sale. Our passion is keeping you protected so you can do more of what you love, like cheering on the Huskers. Give us a call today. Call home, the Home Agency, that is, at 1-800-245-4241. That's 1-800-245-4241.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Tamin 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Road Townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red!
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
SOS to the rescue! SOS to the rescue!
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Oh, but he can't make it because he's so hot. The air conditioning is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling his favorite Luxair dealer. Trusted since 1950, with Luxair you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue! SOS! SOS!
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe back with you on a Friday night. Again, Jessica off tonight, back with us on Monday night. Really cool deal being done by Kansas and Illinois. Bill Self and Brad Underwood, the Jayhawks and the Illini, were going to play one of those closed-door scrimmages, that schools do right before the season begins. Well, the NCAA will allow you to open the doors, sell tickets, let people in if you're playing a game for charity. And they are going to do just that in Champaign to raise money for the Maui fire. that just decimated Lahaina, the town on the west edge of Maui. This will be a cool deal. Kansas might be the number one team in the country. They're loaded again. Illinois should be really good. So the two teams are going to play at the State Farm Center in Champaign, October 29th. The Big Ten Network's going to carry it, so they even get TV coverage for this thing. Proceeds will go to the Maui Strong Fund. The NCAA does allow this to happen. Nebraska has done this. I want to say they played Colorado, and it was for a flood. Now I'm losing. I think it was for like a flood relief for some area that they did that a couple years ago. The schools were going to just do it behind closed doors, like a lot of schools will do, and but they've been given the waiver by the NCAA to go ahead and do this. They'll raise a lot of money, charge $10 a ticket, and they'll probably put 12,000 people in there, so they'll raise some nice money. Both Kansas and Illinois have played in that Maui Classic before, and so I think that place is pretty close to them. This is pretty interesting for Bill Self, because remember, he used to be Illinois' head coach. This is going to be his first time back in Champaign in the arena in about 20 years. So he left Illinois to go to take the Kansas job when Roy Williams opted to go back to North Carolina. So pretty cool deal. Awful tragedy that's going on out there in Hawaii, and such a beautiful part of the world. And, man, so many people just suffering out there that this is a cool thing that Kansas and Illinois are going to do, play a game for charity. And this is really interesting because last night, if you remember, if you were listening last night, I put together my list of top 10 non-conference football games involving Big Ten teams. And Kansas was on there playing, Illinois. I think it's going to be a fascinating game, September the 9th. I just think those are two programs on the rise. Both made bowl games a year ago. Kansas got beat in overtime by Arkansas. Illinois, I think, won their bowl game. So to me, that's a really interesting non-conference football game. And now these two teams in basketball are going to play a charity game in Champaign. So that's a really neat deal. So glad something's good is coming out of that awful deal out there. So just a horrible thing to watch. Husker soccer last night, we left the air. I think we just found out that it was tied. It ended up being a tie, 2-2 with Creighton. Huskers will have their home opener Sunday at Hibner Stadium. 1:05 is when they'll drop the ball, and it's going to be hot. They'll probably have to stop a couple times for water breaks in both halves, but Baylor was a 2-0 winner over Oregon last night in their opener, so they're going to come to Lincoln 1-0-0, and Huskers will be 0-1 after the 2-2 tie with Creighton. So the home opener for the Huskers, so the Hooligans, I'm sure, will be out and about. Camden's got his hooligan shirt on here tonight in the studio, so they'll be out, I'm sure, in full throat on Sunday to cheer on the Husker soccer team. So 1 o'clock Sunday, if you're going to go, take your umbrella, put your umbrella up above your head, maybe a wet cloth, wrap it around your neck. You'll be all right. Hopefully there'll be a breeze out there. But, yeah, we do have a heat warning in effect for our area for the next couple of days. We're going to be hitting those triple digits for a while as summer is giving us one last kick, I think, before cooling off. I did check yesterday. Didn't do it today. Checked yesterday the long-range forecast for the 30th. Volleyball Day in Nebraska. High temperature, 82. So by 7 o'clock, 78? That'd be great. Now, again, we're still, 12 days away, so it certainly can change, but that looked promising, so hopefully that happens. So, again, tomorrow night, red-white scrimmage at Devaney, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock pregame coverage here on the network, and then you have Husker soccer on Sunday with a 1 o'clock start with the Baylor Bears in town to take on our Husker soccer team. Folks, our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned that you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Still time. You want to be a part of the program with a call or a text, 402-413-2400. When we come back, we'll have our winners and losers of the week. That's next.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Calling all Husker fans. Woodhouse Auto Family is thrilled to be a sponsor of Volleyball Day in Nebraska. And to share the excitement, we're giving you a chance to win tickets. As the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics, Woodhouse takes great pride in supporting the Huskers and the passionate Nebraska fan base. And we want to see you in the Sea of Red at Volleyball Day in Nebraska. To enter for a chance to win tickets to the event and learn more, visit woodhouse.com today.
Spot less. Introducing the cleanup for tar spot, gray leaf spot, southern rust, and more. Novel next generation Adastrio fungicide broadens your spectrum and strengthens your residual when it comes to foliar disease control in corn. Visit your FMC retailer or adastrio.ag.fmc.com to clean up this season. Follow 2EE for tar spot management in corn. Valid until 1/31/28. Always read and follow all label directions.
Only in Nebraska will you find a historic, record-breaking event like Nebraska Volleyball Day to honor women's athletics. The University of Nebraska Foundation invites you to be a part of Only in Nebraska, a campaign for our university's future. Another historic, record-breaking effort to engage 150,000 donors to build the future Nebraska needs right now. It's all possible, and it's all happening here, only in Nebraska. Give to support in you at onlyinnebraska.org.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student-athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student-athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
There's no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and have been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbrothers.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Nebraska Athletics.
Back final few minutes of tonight's show, and that'll wrap it up for the week. We're talking about the weather and the fires in Maui. There's a hurricane that's going to hit Southern California. Hurricane Hillary is coming up the Baja Peninsula off the coast of Mexico. Southern California, and I think I got this right. I was watching the Weather Channel a little bit today. They've not had a big hurricane like this since the 1930s, but Major League Baseball has already shuffled a couple of games. 3 of their games have been rescheduled. And this is, I'm guessing, in San Diego for some later dates because of the anticipated storm that's coming up the way. The NFL has a game. Their Sunday night game is in SoFi Stadium, the new one for the Rams and the Chargers in Los Angeles. The NFL has not canceled, postponed, moved it. They said they're monitoring that situation. So I know we have some people in the chat room who live out in California. Be safe. Kind of crazy that you're getting the hurricane out there. The Atlantic has been relatively calm. I mean, usually August it starts to percolate, but we've not really had much. I think they're starting to get fired up coming off the coast of Africa. But remember, think about how many college football games get affected in Florida every year because of hurricanes. But right now it looks like California is going to get drenched with some of Hurricane Hillary in the coming days. So be safe if you're out in that part of the world. All right, time for winners and losers for the week. Camden is in the hot seat. What do you have?
All right, well, my original winner of the week, you kind of took in the last segment. I was going to say Bill Self in Illinois and Kansas basketball.
That's fine.
For their scrimmage that, like you said, was going to be closed, but they decided to open it up. And, I mean, that'll be probably 2 top 25 teams going at it, too.
Yeah.
So I imagine we'll sell several thousand tickets, I'd think, for that. And then, like you said, all the proceeds go into the Maui Strong fund. So I think that would be a good winner.
It's a very good winner.
And then my loser happened today during like one of those NFL practices, combined practices. It was a combined practice between the Ravens and the Commanders. Ravens tight end Mark Andrews slammed down Commanders corner Danny Johnson after a play. He was like tackled and just kind of slammed him down from behind. And Johnson ended up straining a rotator cuff.
Whoa.
So it was kind of just out of nowhere. There's video online if you look it up, but it's kind of uncalled for.
Every time they do these combined practices, that there's all these fights that break out. You kind of wonder, is it really worth it for these NFL teams to do that?
So there are several. They said in the little tweet thread I was looking at, they said there are several times where a scrum broke out between them.
Wow. All right. Good stuff. All right. Mr. Cole.
My winner goes to Max Anderson. He had he's just been doing very well in his Detroit Tigers minor league affiliate. Last night, I think he was 2 for 4. He had a triple. I know that. So he's been crushing it, batting I think nearly 300. My loser happens to be his slide into third on the triple.
It's bad.
You see it?
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad. It's a bad slide. He kind of almost like the top of his chest hit the ground first, and that was the only part of his body to really hit the ground.
It was so awkward. And he's probably lucky he didn't get hurt, because that's usually when you get hurt, when you mess up your slide like that. But, yeah, it was bad.
So that was a package deal, winner, loser. But shout out to Max.
Well, neither of you guys took either one of my winners and losers. I feel lucky here. My winner is Colin Morikawa, the PGA golfer. He has announced he's going to dedicate $1,000 per birdie made to the relief fund for Maui, the Maui fires. And Colin has a lot of relatives in Hawaii, and so this is near and dear to his heart. So well done. I love when athletes use their platform to benefit people, and Camden's one with Illinois and Kansas, same thing there. My loser, I'm going Dion. I mean, there's a little fracas that broke out in their practice yesterday, and he wasn't mad at the guys that started. He was mad that the whole team didn't get involved. What is that? You want your whole team to fight? I mean, that is exact opposite of what it ought to be. I mean, how many coaches have we heard say, that could cost us a game because that's a 15-yard penalty that could cost us a game? No, Dion goes the other way. He wants all his guys out there fighting. It's just crazy. So that's my loser of the week. I had a backup loser. I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. This whole thing with the blind side it's just awful. And I can't figure out who's telling the truth or not, but this whole Michael Orr and the Toohey family, it's just bad, and it spoils what was a marvelous movie and a story. Oh, so disappointing. So I had 2 losers ready. You guys didn't use either one, so I'm going to throw that out there for you tonight. All right, that's going to wrap up tonight's show. Again, next week we get into our coaches' shows. Matt Rule, Tuesday night, 6 o'clock. Trev Alberts, his first AD show of the year, Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. And then volleyball now moving to Thursdays. John Cook will be here at 7 o'clock for his first volleyball show on the eve of their opening game of the year against Utah State on Friday. So Matt Rule, Trev Alberts, John Cook. I might take the week off. Don't need me around here at all. Thanks to Camden and Nicole. Have yourself a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe, stay cool. It's going to be really, really hot outside. Hopefully Husker soccer can notch their first victory on Sunday. And Crypto is going, why'd you call them hooligans? That's the name of the soccer fan base here, Crypto. They're the Husker hooligans. They go out and they cheer on the soccer team. So the hooligans, I'm sure they don't care about hot weather. They'll be out there and having a good time. Enjoy yourself, folks. Go Big Red. We'll see you on Monday.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There are a lot of rates out there, and it can be tough to find the right one. Well, let's make it easy. With FNBO's special offer CD of 5.5% APY for 7 or 17 months, you can earn more, save more, and do more. That's 5.5% annual percentage yield for 7 or 17 months at your nearest FNBO location with a minimum deposit of $500 and an FNBO Premier checking account. So stop on by and give your savings a great big boost with the Great Big Small Bank. FNBO, member FDIC.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Hey, Husker fans! Kinetic now offers fast 99% reliable internet for just $39.99 a month for 12 months. Whether you're at home, school, or work, Kinetic Internet delivers the speed you need to stream, game, and stay connected with fellow Nebraska fans around the world. Only $39.99 a month for 12 months. And just like our teams in Scarlet and Cream, no one else even comes close. Check availability at windstream.com. Kinetic Internet, proud sponsor of Husker Athletics. Terms and conditions apply.
Calling all Husker fans. Woodhouse Auto Family is thrilled to be a sponsor of Volleyball Day in Nebraska. And to share the excitement, we're giving you a chance to win tickets. As the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics, Woodhouse takes great pride in supporting the Huskers and the passionate Nebraska fan base. And we want to see you in the Sea of Red at Volleyball Day in Nebraska. To enter for a chance